You talked earlier about the confidence of these two middleweights. Jones said on Castro that he should have a lot of confidence. He's got 4 times as many fights as I do.
Jones generally has ended them by now. 100% knockout ratio. 17 fights for Jones, 17 knockouts. 12 of those have ended in the first 3 rounds. Time remaining in the 5th. Al Albert along with the champ, Sean O'Grady in Pensacola, Florida. This is the main event. And in this town, the man in silver is the main eventer. Roy Jones in and out. And trying to dazzle Castro with some footwork. Jones is playing with Castro to this point. 10 seconds to go, and we will pause for a word from your local cable systems. Into the center of the ring, Roy Jones in the silver, and in the white trunks is Jorge Castro. Castro has to pick up the pace. 5 rounds down and 5 to go. It has been all Roy Jones so far. Darren Van Horn pitched a shutout in the first fight against Nicky Walker. And Sean, you have Jones likewise in this one?
It looks like so far he has pitched the shutout. We were talking in this corner segment about how important the corner is to steer a fighter through a match. Between rounds, Roy Jones Sr. told his son, he said, talking about Castro, he ain't done cooking yet. He ain't quite ready. So one other thing that a corner man can see that a fighter cannot is when your opponent is ready to go, when he's ready to get out of there.
And what tells you that?
Well, what tells you that is the gleam in his eye, or him looking away, his concentration not there. Something, his knees wiggle a little bit. You hit him on the chin and he staggers. That's how a cornerman knows it's time to end the show. One point of information that Castro knows very well: Roy Jones, who has scored knockouts in all 17 of his pro fights, has been past the 5th round on only 4 occasions. This is the 5th time. Jones has never been 10. Castro has been 10 on 21 occasions. So Castro looking to bring Jones into some uncharted territory, although Jones has gone 9 rounds once before. So maybe a waiting game for Castro, but at this point, he's got to understand to win this fight, he has to knock Jones out. He did want to take it to the later rounds, but he also said, I take a fight round by round, which some fighters say that it's a good thing to do. I'm not a big believer in that, because I think everything you can find out about your opponent, every way you can plan for him to beat that man, is only going to be to your advantage. Some of the tape coming loose on the left glove of Roy Jones. Well, that glove's been busy. No wonder it's coming loose. He has been fast, and what a terrific left hook he has. Very quick, sharp, snapping left hook. Good uppercut. Castro just trying to hold on now. We were talking earlier about when you sense your opponent ready to go. Castro certainly playing up the villain role here in Pensacola. Well, did you think he was ready to go right there? Yes. He was ready to go. Was it the gleam in the eye? He wasn't brushing his teeth, but yes, I think he had the gleam in his eye. The eyes get glazed over. With a fighter like Castro, you cannot rush it. There was a good overhand right by Castro. You have to wait till he's ready. Another good overhand right by Castro. Measuring Jones in the corner, and that's where Jones will stay. 6 rounds down. And we have this program note. Sean, I know you will be very interested in this, because on Thursday night right here on USA, Gene Wilder, Marty Feldman, Peter Boyle,
Terry Garr, Madeline Kahn, all-star in the outrageous Mel Brooks comedy Young Frankenstein. That's Thursday night at 9, 8 Central on USA. Were you in this also?
I was not, but I'll tell you, that's one of my favorite movies. Young Frankenstein. It's Dr. Frankenstein.
Some other stars in the boxing world. WBC middleweight champion Julian Jackson, with Jones ranked number 4 and Jorge Castro ranked at number 6. Reggie Johnson, James Toney, the other middleweight champions. Terry Norris at the junior middleweight level, although Jones wants to meet him as a middleweight. I don't think Roy Jones could get down to junior middleweight at this point, 154.
Well, he may be down there right now because he's worked up a sweat.
So Castro showing some signs at the end of that last round.
But this is how you beat the hard, heavy punchers. Those fighters that are slow, deliberate. You beat them with speed. That's just what so far Roy Jones has done. But with that, you can never let down because they always have the power to end the fight. Hard hitter and a strong fighter is Castro.
And what are some of the other middleweight champions looking at in Roy Jones now as they watch this fight and think of Jones as a possible opponent? What are some of the things in the ring they're focusing on now?
Some of the things they're trying to look at, trying to scout Roy Jones. Seeing that he's carrying his hands a little bit low, trying to see how they can deal with that speed, trying to figure out what kind of fight plan they have to go into if they get a match with Roy Jones. One thing that Castro had a big problem with in this match, he brought no fight plan to the match because he'd never seen Roy Jones. In fact, he didn't want to see Roy Jones.
Well, maybe that's part of the strategy of Jones fighting only 17 times in 4 years.
Well, that's a great thing about going to Argentina for your opponent, but they more than likely have not seen him fight.
Jones has Castro cornered. Castro not too concerned about that. Jones snapping him off, but coming up short. And Castro is right there for Jones.
Jones is worried about Castro trying to lure him in. You know, he felt the strength of Castro a little bit at the last round, but earlier in this fight, in the third round, he felt the strength, the balance of Castro.
And Castro once again flexing that right arm, so he's already broken his nose in the fight and apparently has some problems with the right. We've seen that earlier in the fight.
Well, he got hit so hard in the nose that it busted his right arm. That's a hard punch. Good feints by Roy Jones.
And Jones showing great discipline. Will not be lulled in by Castro. Although Castro certainly inviting. Standing in front, arms down. Now he makes his charge. Castro's ranked number 6, as you just saw, by the WBC. He's also ranked 6 by the VA and 7 by the IBF as a junior middleweight. Oh,
Castro is wobbled. Last round, Jorge Castro was walloped. Look at this big overhand right that Castro steps into. He was hurt. An earlier left hook also did tremendous damage.
Castro feels now he really has to pick up the pace. And that's exactly what he's doing. Haymakers in the direction of Jones, which in the end could just get Castro in more trouble.
And there's that left hook that I've talked about.